Do you like basketball? Basketball, no. Mm-hmm. I like, but I'm not good at. Yes, I'm not.
Me too. Skip 3.
Whoa. Hello, everybody. Whoa. Hey! I'm recording here! Welcome back to the end of the fucking State of the League podcast.
Come from? Guys, there were dolphins in
Dolphins
the
in the
Hudson.
Hudson.
COVID. But where did they come from?
Dolphins
Where were
in your butt, son.
Okay.
Everything.
Are dolphins cold water animals? Were they up in Canada?
I mean, I think they're mammals. I think a defining characteristic of mammals is that
they're not like me, though.
warm-blooded.
I don't view them like me. Just so you know.
Well, yeah, that's not. I mean,
they're not part. I don't have a kinship with them. Okay.
They're fish.
Yeah.
Is that what you want?
They're the rapists of the sea. Is what they are.
That is true. They are demented, sick fucks, and they get that way. Kind of, if you leave them alone, they still end up fucked up and weird. It's not really like a human intervention thing.
I've seen some dolphin dong in my day at a zoo.
Nice.
But
I've seen a
I can't blame that
throw
guy.
a lob to Shaquille O'Neal. And so it was like,
really,
what's the difference between this guy and that other? Well, whatever.
Is Kobe the dolphin of the NBA?
Could be the case. Very cerebral animal. They're very smart. And they're pretty fucking mean, too, I think, in addition to all that other stuff.
Like a great PR. People love dolphins.
Yeah, that's insane to me. It's crazy that, like, dolphins are based and sharks are scary.
Well, that's not crazy. They're literal monsters.
What scares you about sharks?
The big, scary teeth. I'm already scared of the ocean, so when I see anything in the ocean, I'm scared of it. And so I see a big, giant, scary monster with scary teeth and a motionless face. And how do they check on things? How do they check on things? They bite things. They're like, "What's that? Let me bite it."
I'm not mad at it for that, you know.
Well, he's like, "Hey, is that a seal?" Oh, no, it's not. Let me move on.
Well,
But
I'm not a
he got
surfer,
my artery
so.
in my thigh because he came for my thigh because it's a juicy thigh. So he came for that, and now
I'm not. I have no beef with sharks. That's one of the most.
You are beef to
things.
sharks.
Are
we beef, or just beef mean cow?
Beef it's red meat. Well, beef is cow. Yes,
And
but
pork is pig.
Yes.
What are we? What's deer? Venison?
Venison? Maybe. We gotta come up with a name for human flesh, guys. What's it called when you cook and eat? But not cannibalism. I'm trying to make this, you know.
We need a meat genre.
Like
Everyone
like
gets a meat genre.
You open up GQ and it's like David Harbour or something, and they're like, "What's the secret to looking so good past like 50 or whatever?" And he's like, "Well, I eat, you know." And then it would be the fashionable name for cooking and eating people. So like whatever cannibalism. Yeah, we need to come up with something snappier.
Are we blubber? Do we have blubber?
No, that's fat from whales. That
also
beautiful, culturally rich Inuit people use for like lamps and stuff. I'm pretty sure. I don't know.
Try blubber nuggets. They're chewy. Fairly Odd Parents reference.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember even as a kid being like, "Yo." Gross.
I didn't know. I was like, that sounds pretty nuggets. That sounds
nuggets?
pretty good to me.
It's an open windows episode today, everybody. That's why the car honked at the beginning.
Live ambience from the good old nation's capital.
Yeah. So if you hear, it's the sound of oppression. That's what it is.
Oh.
Yeah. The people up on Capitol Hill putting in papers to keep you and me down. This is ASMR for that.
Not us. We're big time now, but the rest of you.
Yeah. You. I mean, probably some of the people listening to this. Yeah. But like, me and Pablo, we're pretty much chilling.
We're pretty good.
Well, it's because like they're they're coming for like Jewish people or black people or minorities or trans people or whatever, but they're not coming for me. So it's like.
No,
I'm not.
I mean, they could tell I'm half Irish. They could tell the Irish side, so I'm good.
And so it's like, what? You're telling me they're gonna come for me eventually? Come on. Get out of here.
Yeah,
Don't be
climate change is
silly.
going to get me too. Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
What if there's an assassination on the president and they trace the bullet and it came from your window, and then it's like, okay, no worries. I was recording the podcast, so I have an alibi. But then the recording gets scrubbed.
I'd be sad.
Well, you'd be in
I'm not
jail,
gonna-
maybe.
I
You
would be
wouldn't
sad in jail.
Okay, well, hear me out though.
Okay.
You're roommates with Luigi before both of your executions.
Okay. It's crazy. There's not. I feel like I just read some shit where they're like not giving him all the evidence. They're not giving his lawyer all the evidence, like access to it. They're like, yep, some stuff we're just keeping until it's time.
Well, is it because they used... the thought at the time was they used like illegal methods to track him down, but I don't know. It's kind of funny that he's like, well, no, maybe I didn't do it.
I love that.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Innocent until proven guilty, you know?
I don't know who did that.
I don't know. And let's be on the record here. Abhorrent crime. Moment of silence for
Well, they
Brian
got our
Madison.
guy Brian Thompson.
Yeah.
Moment of silence, everybody.
Brian
Father of two.
Skywalker Thompson. Yeah, so we don't
And a
condone
moment of
that.
glee for Jamie Lee Curtis's house burning down.
Yeah. Oh, I got one file on the sound card. I was going through the files on the
okay.
card. This is the only one I found I've never used. So, can you hear this?
Yeah.
This
The
is Jam-
Ferris Bueller or 80s?
Yeah, guys, imagine Ferris Bueller leaves school, burns down Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh, Ferris, you can't do that. No,
Yeah,
I'm the coolest guy in school. Of course I can.
Chicka bow bow, and then just. Oh man, that's wonderful. Oh,
See,
God.
but they were playing. I'm anti 80s. This is a take I get heat for from my
Whoa,
friends. I don't like the
okay.
80s aesthetic. And so when I say they were really hearing that sound back then, they're like, "This is such a banger!" Like they heard that and they had the same reaction to us when we heard what's the do 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 do
Mask Off by Future.
Yeah, they had the same reaction.
The Ferris Bueller song was the
Mask
80s
Off.
version
Hey.
of Future's Mask Off.
Yeah, and see, I can never put myself in that headspace. I can
I
never
don't
put
know.
myself in the
I could
headspace
get
of a
down for
dolphin
it.
committing an assault in the sea, and I can never
Yes.
put my headspace in the mind of a young man in the 80s. Yeah, what the heck?
Chicka bow, chicka
God, I hope the radio's playing that right now.
I mean, that would be annoying to be like, hey, well, alternatively, I have one tape that I've listened to 300 times, and so we could pick one of those songs, or we could just throw on the radio and see what's going on.
But you could work at the radio. That'd be pretty sick. You make
God.
30K a year.
That's
and
what
you-
I'm saying.
you go
Like,
on
there was
6
avenues.
vacations.
You could run a record shop and not be poor and like starve to death. You could work at your local college radio. It just seems like there's so many aesthetically pilled jobs that have been phased out since. And don't get me wrong, the 80s definitely not my favorite aesthetic. It's like you really felt the full force of consumerism. I feel like that's the coolest that like buying stuff ever was in the 80s. Yeah, the 80s. There are good things about it.
Try being a gamer today, though.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I don't know. If you're a Lakers fan, 80's pretty sick.
Yeah. The Forum always seems so cool. I always wonder, like, how bad could a stadium really be? Because the Forum looked so great, Oracle looked so great. Like, do we really have to move? Because in baseball, Wrigley is a dump. Wrigley is a
But it's
steaming
historic.
hot pile of trash. Yeah, people, you can't change this. This is historic. And they've done remodels, but still, I think it sucks. But people they like it because of history. But they don't have that in basketball. Like no one cares, I guess.
Yeah. Well, and this was another thing too, because I saw it with the MVP trophy a little bit. Adam Silver does not give a fuck about any historic stuff, and everything is just an opportunity for branding, it feels like. The Kia MVP trophy, Michael Jordan trophy, sponsored by Crypto.com or whatever. And then they have to, like, I don't know. The new design is just different. It's not, like, bad or anything, but it is weird.
Wait, the design of what? The trophy?
Yeah, it's not like Bob Cousy bent over and in his little 1955, like, white guy dribble.
Bob Cousy eating a bento. Now that would be a sick trophy.
Yeah. No, this is, yeah, I think it's Michael Jordan doing, like a layup or something, and the ball is made out of crystal. If you look up Shea holding the trophy, it's a different trophy than normal.
Yeah, I didn't lock in. I forgot we have Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, conference players of
Conference Finals MVPs.
Yeah, big awards coming up.
Big ups to the island of Boston and Los Angeles. Jaylen Brown, famously, for Boston. And then I assume Luka for Dallas.
Probably Luka or Kyrie, I don't know.
Yeah. Jeez. What a couple. I mean, one fun series, one shit series, but I have a feeling that the finals are not going to be, fireworks right now.
I don't know. I feel
it would be cool. If I'm wrong, it'd be so dope. But
so if it's OKC versus New York,
New
York could get stomped, but there will be a lot of eyeballs. There will be a lot of talking about it. If it's Indiana versus OKC, I think it'll be good basketball. I think it'll be crazy basketball.
I mean, I hope so, but okay. Hold on. Before we get into this, do you want to start Pacers, Knicks, Thunder, Timberwolves, or All NBA, All Defense selections?
We could do All NBA, though. I forgot to look over it. So do you know?
I have them written down, but in exchange,
do you know what the snubs are?
You need to pull up the lobbyist request because I didn't write them down.
Okay.
So for All NBA, I don't have All Defense written down. Fuck.
Yeah.
God, right off the bat. NBA All Defense teams. Okay. Microsoft Copilot AI. Shut the fuck up, bro.
Oh, okay.
Well, I was mostly talking to Google's AI thing. Okay. So, All NBA teams, it's Shea, Jokic, Giannis, Tatum, Donovan Mitchell, first team. Brunson, Anthony Edwards, Steph Curry, LeBron James, Evan Mobley, second team. And then third team is Cade Cunningham, Tyrese Halliburton, James Harden, Karl Anthony Towns, and Jalen Williams.
Okay, so I need to pull this up so I can see it. But what's the feedback coming in? Who are people disappointed with anything?
This is one of the more unanimously well-regarded groups, I feel like. I
did see complaints about Donovan Mitchell on first team by Player's Choice.
Well, there's going to be complaints no matter what. Like, there's always going to be some gripes, and I think that was the big one, is that Donovan Mitchell first team pretty clearly rewarding the regular season success of the Cleveland Cavaliers and him, like, spearheading the team or whatever. I don't think he had a better... Honestly, I think there's a pretty serious argument that Evan Mobley was better than him in the regular season just because of how, like, important defense is over the course of, like, 70, 80 games or whatever. But then I also think Anthony Edwards probably had a better season, and you could honestly argue LeBron, too. They both had crazy years, and so it was statistically a down year for Donovan Mitchell. By all accounts, he didn't even get, like, the score less but more efficient style boost. It was just kind of like regression across the board, but the voters still gave him that first team nod. I don't have a huge, massive problem with it, but I also think this is like, well, you should have given this out before the season starts, or before the playoffs start, because like if you do that, then
well, honestly, I think you feel better about it after
definitely.
watching Donovan Mitchell go nuts. So,
yeah, I mean, both ways. It's like you feel better, like the voters feel confirmed, and then you don't have to sit here and be like, hey, that team that like hasn't played in 2 weeks that like was really embarrassing fashion end of their season. Yeah, we rewarded all the stuff that everybody said doesn't matter.
I mean, Well, what are Tatum's regular season stats? He didn't necessarily light the world on fire this
Here
year,
we
did
fucking go, dude.
Didn't
You
he
just
shoot like
gotta
33%
start in on
from
Tatum.
three?
Oh,
I mean, Paul
God.
George didn't get it this year either. 34%.
God, what's volume? I'm pulling it up.
It was high volume, 10, I think.
Okay, 27. Let me see. 27,
On
9,
league
and
average.
6 on 45, 34, 81 shooting splits. I would be more. I'm cooler with the Tatum nod. Just because from a more traditional standpoint, it feels like the forward spot a little less packed than the guard stuff, but also way better defensive player than Donovan Mitchell. Like, arguably Boston's most important player on that end of the floor, but I mean, you get like Derek White or whatever too. So yeah, much better two-way player, and then I also think he was carrying a bigger load on offense. I think Boston was not really the force of nature this season that they were last year, and that we've just kind of defaulted to thinking about them in our brains. When Tatum sat, this was not like automatic hoops for Boston. And I know the games he missed, they had a good record in or whatever. And I'm not saying the team is bad or anything, but it was pretty strategic. Like, oh, we got the Hornets tonight. Tatum, catch your breath. It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like he doesn't deserve it, but like, it's not lock and key for me that he's one of the 5 best guys in the NBA this season. But yeah, I don't know. Was there anyone who didn't make it that people were upset about?
Domantas Sabonis.
Okay.
Get trolled, genius.
Wait, did people really?
No.
Okay.
It was Jaren Jackson Jr. was the one I saw a lot about.
Okay.
The most about. It really wasn't like that much of a stink because, their final fourth of the season was pretty ugly and everything, and the way their playoffs went, nobody really remembers how cool he was for the first 3 quarters. So yeah, him. Şengün got it was just a few comments on my thing. They were like, "Ooh, the Şengün." No Houston Rockets anywhere on the all defensive team or all NBA teams. So I didn't think that was that surprising. I honestly felt like they were lucky to get the All-Star nod, and so yeah, I'm fine with that. And then yeah, Jalen Williams. I think there was like a little bit of stink about. I think for the people who were arguing Jaren Jackson, Jalen Williams would have been the guy that they wanted on there. And then there was some stuff about like Steph Curry regular season versus Cade Cunningham or Tyrese Halliburton for like second versus third team.
Yeah. Nothing stands out to me as really that bad here.
Hey, Jalen Williams. Hey, I'm thinking about circling back. I had a couple people, when Jalen Williams was playing really bad, I had a couple people bring up my old LaMarcus Aldridge tweet. They were like, "You still believe this?" And now I'm like, hey,
Was it what did he peak at? Second team or third team?
I think third, but the tweet was like LaMarcus Aldridge never got an NBA 2K rating above this number or whatever, and Jalen Williams did.
Well, now they're all out of whack.
Yeah, it's inflation. It's fake. But hey. All NBA, all defense, second option on a 70-win title team.
Wow.
I don't know. That's a pretty good feather in your cap at 23, 24 years old.
Let's see. So who was absent this year from the year before? Luka, because he didn't play enough games.
Chunky Campbell Soup.
Anthony Davis didn't play enough games. Kevin Durant. Did he not play enough games this year?
I don't think he played enough games because he definitely would have made it.
Did Booker not it too? I guess Booker was hurt a lot. Maybe?
Let me see. I'm pulling up the Suns shit right now.
And Domantas Sabonis was third team? Dang, Kawhi was second team last year?
Yeah. Last year was like the regular season where they were just like, oh shit, we got 65 out of Kawhi. This is crazy.
What a dream. What a dream.
So Booker played 75 games, and it was not his strongest season. I'm not surprised that he didn't make it. Kevin Durant only played 62, though.
Statistically, Booker's probably got an argument over guys, but I get why he wasn't rewarded. Like, Booker's numbers are probably better than Harden's, right? And Booker's definitely a better player than Harden.
I don't think Harden had a pretty crazy statistical year. What, 26, 7, and 4? What did Harden put up this season? I swear he was like 20 and 10 on good efficiency. Yeah, Harden was 23 points, 9 rebounds, or 9 assists on, 41% from the field, 35% from 3. That's not ideal, but yeah, engine of this Clippers team that got really dangerous coming around the curve versus this Suns team that just kind of like shit their pants and fell apart. Yeah, I'm not surprised they gave Harden the nod.
But guys, just so you know, Devin Booker's still better, okay? So write that down.
Oh, cool. You're better than the ghost of James Harden.
Oh, he's a ghost now. I thought he still had a great season 2 minutes ago.
Well, I mean, you could be both.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Sometimes I think it's both.
Well, should Norm Powell have made this team?
No.
Should Zubats?
Also,
Defensive anchor.
No. Hey. All defense third team. You could tell me some Zubats love, and I would listen to it.
Okay, so the all defense team, Dyson Daniels makes sense. Lou Dort makes sense. Draymond Green makes sense. Evan Mobley makes sense. Amen Thompson makes sense. Second team, Tumani Kamara. Oh, what a blast. Rudy, Jaren Jackson, Jalen Williams, and what the heck? They misspelled Zubats on the official NBA website. Let's sue. Zabac? The fuck?
Did he make second team?
Yeah.
Oh, based. I didn't even realize. Okay, yeah, I'm cool with that award. Then for him. Yeah. Damn, that rocks. That rocks. I really liked his season this year. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not upset at any.
Were there any arguments for?
I wasn't super locked into this. I think what I walked away with mostly is the fact that like the Thunder had 2 more guys who just didn't meet the requirements that like are better than their players that made it onto this list. With like Caruso and Chet both missed the cutoffs, and it's like, well, that's their 2 best defenders, and so it's like, okay, so really this team has 4 all defense level guys, and then like what? 6 more just like very good defenders, 5 more very good defenders. Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
So Derek White didn't make it, and then Bam didn't make it. Bam makes sense. Derek White a little surprising because this was still a great Celtics defense, and he's still Derek White.
Yeah, that is, I don't know, Tumani over Derek White, just from like, I feel like we're seeing a shift. We're analytics pilled in the voting a little bit more.
That is interesting that people tapped in that much, because this wasn't a great Portland season, but no. at the end, their defense was great, but not for the entirety of the year. And Tumani's great, but
I'm not seeing any, Nick Claxton love or anything on here.
Yeah, I mean, well, he had anger issues this year. So
voters were scared.
Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't vote him in out of fear that he might have hit you if you don't.
I put you on my ballot, please.
But yeah, it seems that's the only one that people have brought up. Let me look up all NBA snubs. Is there anyone?
I really feel like this was one of the more I mean, the injury thing has definitely watered down the debate about all of it. Because I think Kevin Durant's season is a really good example of this, actually, where 62 games, if we didn't have the hard cutoff rule, 62 games of like straight up fringe MVP level play versus, I loved Jalen Williams' season. and I loved.
He could take almost anybody's spot on this third team and probably get onto the second team.
Yeah, and so like I think if you comb through the games played shit, there's probably a number of players like that, where it's like, oh, if they just hit like a couple more, maybe they would have hit the cutoff, or in before this rule was in place when it was just like a judgment call by the voters. I think that's definitely one where the voters would have said, hey, you played enough. That's not like an undurable season.
Yeah, it seems people are probably most upset about Trey. Well, at least Hawks fans are upset about Trey. But
wow, that's really surprising. He got traded. He tweeted about it.
Oh, did he? Oh, he made that a term, right?
Yeah, I think it was StatMuse or somebody said Trae Young this season, first in assists, 7th in points. He got traded, and then he responded with like 8 crying, laughing emojis and then a shaking my head emoji.
Well, here's the deal, Trey. You gotta be more efficient as a scorer. If you were more efficient as a scorer, because so the Bleacher Report has a bunch of tweets listed. Trae Young just got snubbed again. At this point, what does he have to do to make an All-NBA team? Probably has to average 35 and 35 and 10 just to make a second team. And another guy said, man could average 35, 10, and 10 with 50, 50, 90, and the Hawks could win 65 games, and he still wouldn't make an all-star team or get a reward.
I don't think that's true.
Yeah, come on, dude. He hasn't done any of that.
Guy back when Jerry Stackhouse averaged 30 points in on 37% from the field in 2001. What does this guy have to do to get on an all-in? Please, people.
But yeah, I'm trying to find what did this Hawks offense finish in the regular season?
Not great, I believe.
Yes, 17th in offense.
The season really lost some wind once Jalen Johnson got hurt. It was like, oh, what kind of noise are we making now?
And maybe it's the usual case with Trey, where like when he's on the court, they're one of the best offenses, and then off the court it's dire. But still, it's just he just got to get more efficient.
This is so funny. I can only see your mouth moving. It's so fucking loud right now. Okay, it was just literally you look.
But yeah, Trey is a one-man offense, but he's got to perform better if that one-man offense wants to compete with the other, with a 10-man Pacers offense or.
I'm a
one-man offense.
Could I get like a 5-man offense? Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Could you be less man and we could have more around you? I don't know. You're so macho.
Next year's a Trey year. I feel it in my bones.
I feel it in my sinew.
What's that?
It's like your tendons and stuff.
Okay.
I feel it in my torn ACL.
Okay.
It's a Trey year, baby. My knee's acting up.
Oh, have you gotten any of that yet? Do you feel it when it rains or when it's about to rain or something?
No, but I think I might start lying about it. This is the first time it's occurred to me to just be like, oh, my knee's really tight. It's raining. It's raining later, everybody.
It's raining. And you could just extend it if you want. Be like, I can feel lies in general when I'm in my knee, so I know you're lying.
You know, I tore my ACL, right? And they're like, "Oh, no, I'm lying. I'm sorry." They just fold immediately.
No, that'd be epic.
Yep, I'm pretty much like, I don't know any characters who do that, but if you guys know one, comment it down below, and I'm like that guy.
And yeah, so Ja Morant didn't play enough games and didn't play good enough games to make it this year, but he could if
Ja
he was healthy.
can't.
Come on, dude.
Nah, more can't.
I still feel like we're a little. In general, I feel like everyone's too low on the Grizzlies.
Yeah, you think he's better than Tatum?
No comment. No. people like we can't have everyone on the Grizzlies is overrated and sucks and is trash, but we're second seed in the West almost the whole year.
That was fake. Yeah. So, looking through this, I didn't write this shit down, but there was a couple stats I saw where it was like, Giannis, I believe, is the first player since, or the only one besides LeBron and Kobe to have more than 7 straight first-team selections. or to have 7 straight. I believe it's just those 3 players, so that was kind of cool. And then, this is Shea's 3rd straight first team.
that stood out to me. That's crazy.
Yeah, because I was getting into this a little bit on Twitter. Okay, Shea championship this year, assuming.
All right, wait. Let me picture.
Yep. He has a thick
that
Toronto
was
accent.
cool.
He was mic'd up the other night, and I was like, damn, he sounds... I don't know. He sounds Canadian.
He said when there was a video of him talking to Nikhil, and he used some like crazy Canadian slang to ask him if he was coming over later. He's like, you fog wying or something like that later. It was something crazy.
Okay. But so wins the championship this year. Are you putting him above Tatum all time?
All time?
Yes.
I don't know.
This is why our podcast doesn't blow up, dude.
I mean,
this is why we never do good. It's because we ask each other questions. It's just like, I see both sides of it.
I mean, so for them, like, there are some guys where like the historical impact is clear to me. Like, I'm like Joel Embiid. Very clear this is one of, like, when he's healthy, this is, like, for sure one of the 20 best guys I've ever seen play basketball.
Yeah.
Jokic, I'm like, this is top 10 already for me. Tatum and Shea aren't at that level. But if you were, you could only ask me them compared to somebody who's done, if you think he's better than him.
Okay. I said yes. That's what I was like, I'm ready. For me, I don't feel...
I mean, it's definitely a more impressive feat than anything than what Tatum.
Well, that's
I mean,
really...
if he wins a championship performing well offensively and defensively, then he beats Tatum, who won a championship performing well only defensively. Yeah.
Shout out to his defense though.
And his load is much bigger than Tatum's. I feel like on off he has more. They're way more dependent on him doing well offensively.
Yes. If he were to do 40% from the field for a full playoff run, it would not be.
It'd be a little rough.
It would not be a 4-round
dicey.
playoff run. I can tell you that much. Yeah. I mean, I was like, So this is for me, Shea, best version of either player so far. Like, I don't think Tatum's ever been this good straight up.
Yeah.
That's a very big bonus at this point. And then I feel like it's just that the team kind of caught up a little bit. We've seen him be. I mean, outside of the first,
they played well in this series. Yeah,
they played. So if you go look at last year, really good playoff debut. I think he was 36-6 on. I mean, he even shot the 3 well. He was crazy for 11 games. I know they lose in the second round or whatever, but it's a tough Mavs team. And literally playing with Josh Giddey handcuffed to a garbage can. And then this year, outside of the first 3 games of the Grizzlies series, he's been 32-7-6 on 61-62% true shooting. His efficiency surprised me. I thought there was way more stinkers in there than that. Against good defenses, obviously Denver, they were locked in, and then
Denver sold out everything to prevent him from getting to the rim.
Hey. Okay, let me timestamp this real quick. We could talk Thunderwolves. What are we at? 33. Okay.
But just ask me them compared to some guys who are retired. I'll tell you
Isaiah
who's better.
Thomas.
Which one?
Take your pick. Well,
He's
only
better than
one's
both.
retired, actually. Dick.
Oh, shoot. My bad. No, he's better. He's bigger.
Sorry, Isaiah Thomas.
That's my analysis.
King in the fourth. I'll never forget.
That's my analysis. He's bigger. He's better.
Bigger.
They're both bigger. They're better.
So Thunderwolves, going back to the point, they sold out everything to stop Shea from getting to the rim. Rudy Gobert, Jaden McDaniels kind of getting sliced up by Shea Gilgeous-Alexander right now. Christian Brown, Nikola Jokic, kind of literally
sounds like a guy who needs
stopped him dead in his tracks. This is one of the best defensive duos I've ever seen.
Sounds like further proof someone deserves $150 million in free agency this year.
No. And that was the other part we didn't even talk about with the All NBA shit. The incentive bonuses should not count towards the cap. That's really where I'm at right now, because like when this was coming out, every time I saw a name, I was like, oh man, how are they gonna pay that guy? And like Jalen Williams, all NBA, all defense, that's gonna be a big contract, dude. You better hope the bad Jalen Williams goes to bed forever or something.
Yeah. When does he jump up? It's not next year, is it?
You get one more year of him on this contract. You could theoretically extend him right now. He's eligible for it, but you could do you could just let the year go. But I think that will turn him into a restricted free agent if they don't extend him this offseason.
Okay. But yeah, so in this game, I'll tell you what though. I just rewatched the game today.
Mm-hmm.
I was so impressed with Anthony Edwards. I feel like the stats aren't fully indicative of how great he was this game, because I think he was 1 for 9 from 3. So that's obviously not that great. But I thought he made the right play like the entire game long. He was just let me ask you this. If they swapped teams, is the result different? Shea and Edwards?
This is tough because this has also been a question with the officiating, which like I'm done. I don't give a fuck about it. Like I'm not trying to make this that conversation, but it's like the question I've seen is, well, if Caruso and Dort had to guard Shea, they'd foul out immediately or whatever. And I don't know if that's true, but
so Shea's 15 free throws this game. Edwards is 10. So yeah, I guess it's a gap, but still.
I think it's probably definitely a closer series. Like right now, it feels like OKC is fully in the driver's seat. Whereas I think Anthony Edwards, there's definitely some streakiness to his offensive game that like if you catch him on a bad shooting night or a night where you can make him like settle for the mid range or whatever, and it's not 100% unconscious, can't miss. The Thunder's offense, it's, there's not like a ton of layers to peel back at that point. It's pretty hard for them to like generate a full quarter of good offense if they don't have that lead creator playing at a high level. And conversely, the Wolves, I do feel like Shea is probably better against this defense than, like, if Shea is on the Wolves going against OKC. Yeah, I feel like he's probably playing better than Anthony Edwards did in the first game, at least. I agree. I'm on the same page as you. I thought this was a big step forward from game one for Ant. I thought downhill aggression is like... I tweeted at the beginning, it felt miraculous when Anthony Edwards like managed to get downhill, just because like the Thunder were so good at, oh, I'm here, I'm in your way, you're not getting there. So like once he finally got like an angle to get to the rim or whatever, it just felt like this huge sigh of relief. Like that was so hard. But as the game went on, a la Donovan Mitchell or whatever, he just like kept putting his head down and kept being aggressive and didn't settle for what they gave him. And I thought it was like, the driving force behind Minnesota having a better team offensive game, even though end result's still the same. Just like a completely out of reach by the fourth quarter kind of game for Minnesota. It did not feel like they had enough juice, even with Anthony Edwards playing this well. Julius Randle, really rough game.
Julius Randle, huge stinker. Gobert, stinker. Mike Conley, stinker. 3 points on 1 of 6 shooting.
Who was it? Nah and Jaden McDaniels had better games, right?
Yeah. Nah had 17 points on 8 shots off the bench, and then McDaniels had 22. But yeah, the rest of this team wasn't necessarily pulling their weight. Naz Reid was not terrible, but 0 for 5 from 3.
If he's not hitting his threes, I'm not trying to hear it, dude. Yeah. Like, it's not against this kind of interior defense. There's not really anything else you could do that's gonna move me.
And this was a game where OKC, honestly, like they got big time contributions from Jalen Williams and Chet, which was enough.
Yeah.
But there wasn't too much going on with the rest of them.
I thought this was a great J-Dub game. He opened this game with like 4 straight little bump mid-range pull-ups,
Yeah.
and it really like set the tone for what OKC was trying to do. And then Chet, I mean, thank God he was like hypnotized in the Denver series or whatever. He remembered he can like dunk again.
Yeah.
He's like 7
and he was
feet tall.
one of 6 from 3 in this game, and he was still good.
Yeah. That's what stuck out to me. It's like his three was not falling at all. Very, very clear plus offensive player in this game.
No threes, 4 rebounds. Jaren Jackson to watch. Jaren Jackson watch.
We got white Jaren Jackson here. Damn.
But no, I feel like over the course of these playoffs, my opinion has only risen of Anthony Edwards. I do think Shea is still better, but I think Edwards is in that tier now, which I've been very hesitant to throw him up there with some of the best guys in the league.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like the threes aren't falling, but if they do, that's a crazy pull-up 3 weapon. Obviously, insane downhill attacking
This
force.
is probably the most difficult downhill team he'll face for like 5 or 6 years.
Maybe for his
defensively.
career. Well, it'll depend.
What happens in San Antonio?
Yeah, I mean, it's a problem when you get downhill. That's the issue. They might let him get down.
Hey, I'm at the bottom of the hill. Holy fuck!
Is that the Grim Reaper?
Is that the Grim Reaper?
But his passing has blown me away. The handle's blown me away. And he's a great he makes plays on defense. He's good, and he offers rim protection. He offers on-ball defense. I just think he's so good, and I feel like if you walk into a series, even against Shea, I'm like, well, we have a player on the same level. It's just the supporting cast that'll make the difference. And so, yeah, I still think Shea's better, but I think Edwards is same tier, and he's just incredible. If we got what Julius Randle's been normal. This would have been a much.
If we got
closer
like
game.
all NBA level Julius Randle.
Yeah, if we got one of the top prospects in 2014 draft.
Whoa!
Yeah.
I was looking at a high school class from like 5 years ago, and it was funny. I can't remember what year it was, but I just remember like going down the list and being like, good player. What? Patrick Baldwin, like what a I don't know. It just always makes me laugh when you get to like 4th highest recruited high school player.
Yeah, it'll be like Shea, Anthony Edwards, Chet Holmgren, Tarek Black, and then
okay. He was crazy his junior year. Oh my god.
Avery Bradley was the #1 player in his high school class.
Hey, shout out to Drew Holiday was like that too, right?
He must have been high up there. And then when I listened to the old Bill Simmons draft podcast, they were like, I don't know how you draft this guy high up. You have no clue if he'll be an NBA player because the college number. I guess he didn't do much in college either.
Well, it's because he was playing next to basketball terrorist Russell Westbrook. Nah, just kidding, Russell Westbrook. 6th man of the year, Russell Westbrook.
Were they the same? Was Westbrook, was he one and done? Or was he 2 years?
I think so. I watched... The Secret Base has a good video about Drew Holiday's career up to this point out. Everybody go watch it after you're done with this podcast. And they described it very much as like crazy high school recruit Drew Holiday pulls up to UCLA. That was a surprising college pick because they already had like a high-level guard. I can't remember who it was.
Darren Collison? Was he there?
I mean, placeholder name, if nothing else. But that was probably it.
Don't call Darren Collison a placeholder.
Well, I'm saying
dude.
if that's not him, we could just pretend it was Darren Collison there.
No, you're a jerk and apologize for it.
Sorry, Darren Collison. Darren, call me, son, and you can come on the podcast.
Remember when he quit to be like a religious missionary, and then he's like, never mind, I'm back.
No, but that's funny. That's a good bit.
He might have also had a domestic violence charge. I don't know.
That's not funny. That's not a good bit.
Yeah, that's life.
Guys, come on. I was doing a bit. He's going into the back of a police car.
Right, no, he didn't play with Westbrook.
Drew Holiday didn't?
No, because I believe they were both one and dones.
What?
So he was on the 08-09 UCLA. Westbrook must have only been 07-08. But he only played 1 year. Darren Carlson is on this team. Yeah, that was probably it. That or Nikola Dragovic.
Maybe. But regardless,
you know what else is crazy? That
what?
I looked at what year was Jokic drafted? Was
2014-15.
So I
assume 2014 draft.
Yeah, I think it was 2014. I pulled up the 2015 draft and I skipped to the second round because I was like, I want to see if they. I know he was drafted during the Taco Bell commercial, but I want to see if they said anything at all. If they had Fran Fraschilla talk about him at all. And I pulled up the draft and it was like I skipped to the Nuggets pick in the second round, and there was a Taco Bell commercial, and then we came back and they drafted a different Nikola. It was like Nikola something, and I was like, "What am I Mandela effect? What is?"
Whoa!
And they didn't talk about that guy. Actually, I think they might have talked about that one. And then I went and watched the real Jokic one. They didn't even talk about him. They talked about someone else that was drafted.
I don't remember what we were talking about with Drew Holiday, but
Darren Carlson.
I don't remember. But before that,
secret base.
No, it's none of, and I don't even care anymore. I'm done with that point. Thunder up 2-0 on the Wolves. Do we feel like we're gonna get a Wolves win at home?
It's possible. If we get a really cold offensive night from the Thunder, I think it could happen. Big Randall night, big McDaniels night, big Anthony Edwards night, good Naz Reid night,
good DiVincenzo.
And then dude, don't get indulgent. But
well, he hit 2 threes in this most recent game, and I was like, holy fuck, he's alive! This is incredible. And then you go look at the box score, and it's like 8 points, 2 of 6 from 3, 3 assists, 4 turnovers, minus 27 in a 15-point loss. Sorry, DiVincenzo, that's pretty tough.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was handled steadfast.
What is that?
So if they finish off the series steadfast.
But what is steadfast?
Steadfast.
Hold on, I'll Google the definition.
Did I just pwn him with vocab? Guys, comment down below.
All right, give me a definition for steadfast.
Steadfast, quickly, brief.
Resolutely or dutifully, firm and unwavering. So I think this has more to do with the manner in which you're doing something, and not the speed at which it's being done.
Well, so the thing about the English language is it's a living, breathing language, of course.
No, it's not.
And so the meanings actually
show me a book that breathes
as time goes on. The Bible.
Fuck, he owned me, guys. He owns me with religion. Oh my god.
Just as they've always done.
Just as they've always done. Oh my god. Hey, open up the lobbyist request. Give me some OKC Timberwolves talk.
Okay. All right. Let's start at the top, and I'll tell you what. There's a lot of Pacers questions. Okay. Thunder. From Digital Mitski. Jalen Williams being on the All-NBA third team is giving me major polar bear vibes now that he has taken somewhat of a dip in the playoffs. Is it possible that his defensive responsibilities could be taken up by the other 7 good defenders in OKC when they trade him for a bona fide offensive asset? All right, so we got a little Moneyball question here about the. It's essentially a question about the aggregate, of course.
All right, so this is our Jason Giambi.
Yeah. So good. Oh, and we could trade him for his trouble making younger brother. Well, he doesn't make trouble.
Fuck,
but he could
Cody
start,
Williams,
maybe.
get in the strip club. God damn it, dude. We're trying to make a metaphor here.
Well, so Jalen Williams' place. So they do have a lot of defenders, but how many of them can do what Jalen Williams does? So he's incredibly he's not necessarily locked down on ball, but he's good on ball.
Yes.
And the versatility is the real thing. He can guard a ton of different types of guys and can make plays at every single position. And so I feel like Caruso can do what he does.
To a degree.
Well, I don't know. Because, hey, he guards Jokic, so he could do anything. He could do
Hey,
anything.
well, I mean, you let Jalen Williams fucking stab Jokic in the head. I'm sure he'd be pretty good at it, too.
The Kaysen, I don't know. I feel like he's got some of that Drew Holiday power, but I don't know if it's necessarily if there's necessarily
Nah,
a sample.
he's not banging with the big boys.
Shea, you just can't tax him like that.
Yeah.
It wouldn't make sense. Dort, not that level of versatility, I think. I mean, he's good, but and then the young guys they have, God, everyone is really similar. AJ Mitchell and Dylan Jones are the same types of guys.
Yeah.
But Topic won't be that good defensively, so that'll
Fuck.
be. So hey guys, if you're rooting on OKC's downfall, hope that Topic is really good offensively and gets on the court.
If you're rooting on OKC's downfall, Dagnall he traded Josh Giddey and he drafted a new one. And he's gonna fall in love with them the exact same way.
Oh, if they draft the Demon from BYU, Igor Damon.
Oh,
Damon.
Topic Demon lineups are minus 500,000 on the season, and they're
just
playing
trust him.
They're starting the second quarter in the Western Conference Finals next year. Oh my God!
But so would it ever make sense to trade J-Dub for a more dynamic, like straight up? Let's say, let's enter a wacko world. Let's go bizarro mode, okay?
Whoa! Crazy
We're
here.
down the rabbit hole. Editor throwing a sick edit for that.
Okay, this is the only edit we got.
Whoa! No.
Okay.
So Devin Booker swapped out for J-Dub. Are they a better team, or are they a worse team?
I think they're just a different team. Probably, all of the stuff that comes along with that. Better offensively, worse on defense. I don't know. Do you think that makes them better overall with Devin Booker in that spot?
You know what? It might be possible. Just because. Yeah, they are so sound defensively, and Booker's not even bad defensively.
Booker, underrated defender when he's trying.
Yeah, but he's no J-Dub. Don't get me wrong, but J-Dub is no him. Like, even though J-Dub is a good mid-range scorer, Devin Booker's like one of the best.
Devin Booker's like Jesus Christ.
Like it feels like Devin Booker. With Shea facing the kind of coverage he did in the Nuggets series, Devin Booker could drop 60 or something.
I mean, Devin Booker literally had like 45 when the Nuggets were like, Kevin Durant, you're not going to beat us.
So, honestly, it is possible, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think less so than like drastically changing. If a change like this happens, I think it'll be to prioritize the timeline. I don't think, no matter what happens in this season, I don't think the Thunder walk away saying, we have got to make this gigantic change to give us a better shot at winning the championship. Even everyone healthy, even like Tatum still 100%, Cavs, Darius Garland's toe is better or whatever. Everybody healthy. This Thunder team is 100% good enough to win a championship. And I think...
And they're still developing.
Yeah, there's no reason to believe that like J-Dub is near his ceiling on offense. There's so many different places where he could just like make better decisions and they would be a better team.
And then we got to think. So Caruso doesn't have that much time left before...
Short contract.
He's
I think 2 years?
Short contract, injured guy, older guy, so he won't be around forever. And then the rest of this team...
Hartenstein, also same thing. I think he literally just has next year on his contract.
And then you got to wonder, like, are they going to run into, like, Celtics type? If we're maxing out Shea, J-Dub, and Chet, then does Lou Dort become a luxury that you have to abandon? And I think they are clearly drafting... To fill these gaps because AJ Mitchell and Dylan Jones do play defense like that, but it's like this is probably the best version of this defense we're gonna see unless next year's better maybe, but so it's not like they're gonna be at this level of defense is a constant, so it might not be the smartest move to already damage it by removing a key cog like that. But next question from Oscar, Oskar.
Oskar.
Wonder if he's from Scandinavia. OKC. What's up?
What
Pablito and Jacques. I'm having an ethical dilemma watching this series. I'm preying on OKC's downfall after seeing a few too many egregious flops from SGA. However, I've been preying on Ant's downfall too, since he's been a fiend off the court. How do I escape this lose-lose situation? You just gotta go. You gotta go all in on the East.
What do you mean? Just the East has to win the finals?
If you're like, I hate the Thunder and I hate Minnesota, then yeah, you gotta be all in on the East, because this is how I was for many years with LeBron. I was all in on the West. Like, yeah, Draymond's not the greatest guy. Yeah, Kevin Durant. Yeah, this is an evil super team. But
I don't agree with him on everything. Okay, he's got some positions that I just can't defend.
The only time it really would have been an ethical dilemma for me is if the Rockets made the finals. If it was Houston and in the finals versus the Cavs, that might have forced
Kevin
me.
Durant's super team, you were still full on. Let's go Warriors.
Yeah, I was like, screw this guy, because then I was like, God, imagine how they'll be talking about him if he beats this team.
Oh my God.
But
There's
no, I love Steph and Clay, and I respected Draymond much more back then, because
when was the IDF trip? I wonder.
I think it was back then, but I didn't know about it.
Yeah.
What's it called? I like Steve Kerr. I really liked the whole team, because I was in on them while they were growing.
Yeah.
And they played a great style of basketball. So, yeah, so you got to be Mr. Halliburton or Mr. Brunson. I think that's where you lean into.
Yeah. I guess. I don't know. I think the Thunder are going to win. That's kind of my take. So I think you should emotionally steel yourself for that result.
All right, that boy nice expert. Reposting, because I got ignored last time.
Motherfucker! Dude! Okay, whatever. Go.
¿Cómo estamos, mis compas del estado de la liga? Preguntaron por el trueno. Oh, yeah. If the Thunder do end up going all the way and win the chip this year as a historically young team, and do so in Shea's MVP season, how quickly does revisionist history settle in with Shea? Will people suddenly treat him like people treat 18-19 Harden now and act like they always knew and liked him? Do the all-time great conversations seem outlandish? Is he automatically the greatest Thunder of all time? Curious to know y'all's take. P.S. What are y'all's favorite ice cream flavors now that summer is sort of here? -TBNA. Let's do ice cream first. So
okay.
I like to... I'm a big mint chocolate chip guy.
Based.
But also,
I was going to say mint chocolate chip. Okay.
Do you know Jenny's? Is that a nationwide chain or no? Jeni?
I think I've seen it before, but I don't know off the top of my head why.
They have something called ooey gooey cake or something like that.
Ooh, okay.
And so ooey gooey flavor, it's very good. And usually if I'll go there,
what are we talking here?
It's like a pound-ish cake type thing.
They're pounding goo.
Dude, it's ice cream talk. And they charge by the
screaming talk. Okay, sorry. Go.
They charge by the scoop. So I'll get the max is 4 scoops. So of course I'm maxing out 4 scoops.
Damn, all right.
4 scoops in a waffle bowl. But so I'll usually get a diversity of scoops, but sometimes 2 are ooey gooey. Huh.
I fuck with mint chocolate chip. I like what I've been crushing lately. Trader Joe's has these like popsicles that on the outside is like mango slush frozen, and then the inside is vanilla ice cream. That's insane. And then I'm a pretty big fan of chocolate ice cream. So like
yeah,
anywhere if we're going cookies and cream, I love cookies and cream ice cream. Cookie dough ice cream, I like it. It's good. And then also,
I'm bigger on cookie dough. I was thinking cookie dough. I'm bigger on cookie dough than cookies and cream.
I mean, I like both, but cookie dough is really good. And then Blue Bunny has this one called Super Fudge Brownie that I fuck with. So it's like
Never
chocolate.
had it, but I know I'd like it.
And like a swirl of chocolate in there, and then you also get brownie bits. And I mean, yeah, it's I have a sweet tooth. Really, any ice cream, I'm not gonna be upset with. Like I love ice cream.
I'm just not a fruity ice cream guy. And I'm not really popsicle. My friends are all super popsicle pilled. I'm not super popsicle pilled or like shaved ice or like sherbet.
No, I mean I'm a more traditional these popsicles. If it came in a tub, if I could eat like this mango vanilla ice cream, I would do that. It just doesn't. And then I also like I fuck with just plain vanilla ice cream. Like that's one of my not a hot take necessarily, but like every time I'm eating vanilla ice cream, I think to myself, damn, it's fucked up that they gave vanilla this plain moniker. They made vanilla the word for like, oh, it's
anti-white
boring.
racism. That's what it is. Call it the truth.
It's ice cream racism because vanilla ice cream, oh my god, it's hard to beat, dude.
Yeah, if you get like a blizzard or like a custard, you got to go vanilla. It accentuates the toppings more. But so back to the ball.
All right. The secondary part of this podcast.
If they end up going all the way this year, how quickly does revisionist history settle in with Shea? So what's the opinion right at this very moment? Everyone hates Shea because he's a foul, beta grifter, overrated. But I think people respect the defense.
What, the defense of Shea or the defense of the Thunder?
Of the team.
Yeah, no, I mean, the number one complaint I see for like people coping but trying to pretend like they're rational or whatever is the difference in the physicality allowed, or where Dort and Caruso navigating a screen, have a lasso tied around Jokic's waist or whatever, or are just like full on grabbing Anthony Edwards' jersey, whereas Shea, he's getting touch fouls on the other end. And I don't think that's like an insane complaint or whatever, but I also just don't think that's how it's going to be remembered at all. Like, especially if we go out next year and you get like Chet DPOY finalist, which is very much in the cards, or you get like 65 games out of all of these guys, and it's like, how many can make the all-defense team? This is insane. I don't think it's going to be remembered by like the narratives that are around it right now.
I think a good comparison is Dwayne Wade's first championship, where he beat the Mavericks. What was that, 05 or 06?
The most rigged championship.
The most rigged championship. The kids don't even know that today.
Yeah, they think it was pure, like basketball bliss. No, that was fixed, and everyone hated it. It was
phantom. You could find YouTube videos from 14 years ago in the worst quality you've ever seen. They're like, Look! Clearly, this isn't a foul, and you're like,
144p. There's 10 pixels.
Clearly, he doesn't touch his hand.
In front of you.
There's like famous phantom calls and whatever. And I remember, like, I was in on it back in the day because I was a Dwayne Wade hater as well. And so I remember there was like some guy's website where it's like, Dwayne Wade shot more free throws than Shaquille O'Neal did in a series where he was intentionally being fouled. I was like, you're kidding me. Mm-hmm. But that was, and I'm pretty sure if you go and look at those Dwayne Wade numbers, I would doubt Shea has ever touched those free throw numbers over the course of a series.
Yeah.
And I think they like turned up, because Dallas went up 2-0 at the start, right? And then they won 4 straight, and the free throws coincided with that. So, like, people would be out of their minds losing that. I was on. I actually didn't watch those finals live. I was because I was only 1 year old.
Yeah,
of
so
course.
It's tough.
And also,
we know our history.
I have a memory of I was on a family trip in Ireland, and I saw in the newspaper Dwayne Wade won the championship. I was like, whoa. That guy's 99 overall and
holy crap.
NBA Live or you might have been on the cover that year. Maybe it was after, I don't know.
Yeah.
But so I think these things do die down. People already like, it feels like the free throw merchant stuff is dropped from Harden, and it's just like he couldn't get the job done. But
yeah.
And people hated Harden, but now when the new hated guy is like, he's not Harden. Come on.
Well, I will say, there are still moments where I watch Harden where he does like he cut off my angle to the basket. Ouch! Where I'm like, okay, I see I see the prime Harden is still in there.
It's
I'm
like
still
when
upset with this
when
guy.
the bad guy joins the good guys, and then his powers, he's like way weaker for some reason.
Yeah. And so but like Harden is a good example of it, where it's just like once you stop like forcing people to interact with it all the time at that level, it like the hate, it just can't be sustained. And I think with Shea specifically, his game is so cool once you start to break down, like once you get past all of this bullshit that everybody is focusing on right now. One of the most exciting like mid-range tough shot makers of the last 10 years. Incredible like basket gravity playmaking stuff, incredible defender, and really impressive box score stuff too. Like 3 straight seasons, 30 points per game, over 50% from the field, 3 straight All-NBA first teams, and he's the scoring leader this year. It's like from every angle besides the one we're looking at it from right now of crying online about free throws, you get a picture painted for you that like a little kid going on Basketball Reference or whatever being like, oh, this is like cool. They would be like, this is one of the greatest players of all time. And I think that is how moving forward fans will interact with him. People that didn't watch it live or whatever.
Yeah, and so he says, will people suddenly treat him like people treat 18-19 Harden now and act like they always knew and liked him? I think it's different people. I think the people who really hated him back then still hate him, but there's just so many basketball fans that the conversation's changed, and it's not the same people now. It's probably people who liked him back then, but I think the haters, they keep it moving. They move on to they're like parasites. They latch onto a new guy.
Well, it's like what am I gonna get by going? I still don't like 18-19 Harden or something. Yeah. What does that gain me?
I mean, unless you're like on Player's Choice, you're not thrust into a Harden.
Yeah, nobody like gun to your head. How do you feel about him? What do you
better
think
rocket than McGrady? 06 McGrady? No way. 07 maybe.
Come on, man. You give James Harden Yao Ming, he's winning a title.
Give him Scola. What happens? But so I feel like the people who were really hating on Harden, probably moved on and are Shea haters right now, or they're Embiid haters or something like that.
Yeah, Embiid was the logical step. Yeah.
And then when people post the retroactive highlights, they're not showing all the hooking. So
Shea is one of the coolest highlight tapes, I feel like. Yeah. Although Harden does have a ton of like final minute 30-foot step back threes. Like if you go watch the career James Harden highlight reel, there are a ton of threes where it's like, what the fuck? This is insane.
And it is crazy, like he just had straight up ISOs all game long because they did 5 out, and I don't know if it was more powerful back then or what. Like I guess they missed 27-3 shooting variance, but
variance.
And then so last part of this. Well, no, do the all-time great conversations seem less outlandish, and is he automatically the greatest Thunder of all time? So all-time conversations, no. He's still younger, so it's still being written, but he just had one of the greatest seasons ever, statistically. Like a straight-up Michael Jordan season. Greatest Thunder of all time, he's above Westbrook, but the Durant
I'll put him
weird.
number 1.
I suppose he has to win, like legacy-wise. I suppose he has to win the finals because Kevin Durant won MVP and got to the finals. Do you feel like he's better than Kevin Durant was at the same age? Because I don't, but I don't know if that's correct.
But I feel like it's pretty close. I don't feel like it's like outlandish to suggest that.
Yeah, it's not an insult.
And I do think there are like pros and cons to both players. Yeah. Like we talk about Kevin Durant as this like, unimpeachable guy in the playoffs or whatever, which he got better. He's a crazy scorer. Yeah. He had a lot of great runs. When you go look at him in those early Thunder runs, playmaking specifically, it's not like the best in the world. He is a good case of like, tough shots. Mm-hmm. If you're not like getting to the rim in addition to making your tough shots, you're not going to have this crazy gravity that's opening up shots for everyone else, even if the teammates are missing shots. His playmaking wasn't doing that. And then defensively, like he was not. Golden State, incredible defender. Since Golden State, I feel like he's been an incredible defender when he's been healthy. But in that OKC run, it felt very much like we were on untapped potential time with this incredibly fluid 7-footer. Whereas Shea right now, very, very good defender. I don't know about great or elite or whatever you want to call it, but like clear high-level impact defender.
I do feel like the best, we didn't get it in OKC, but the best defensive version of Kevin Durant, I would take over what
yes,
Shea is.
I agree with that. That's fair.
Statistically, I would imagine Shea's season is probably better than anything Kevin Durant had. But we got to remember, like, even last year, Kevin Durant, the team that goes up 3-1 on the Warriors, it's like Westbrook, not a shooter. Roberson, a complete zero.
I mean, you want to talk about a relic.
A guy who literally could not exist anymore.
Yeah.
Or maybe he could again.
Maybe we're getting back to the Josh Hart, we come back around.
But who else? Who's the
Steven
Adams, Enes Kanter,
Kendrick Perkins, maybe?
Kendrick Perkins.
Think he was their center for the finals run, I want to say.
Pull up that roster. Pull up 15-16 OKC.
Oh, 15-16.
Roster.
Perkins is not there, but I'll pull it up.
Oh, was he not? No, he definitely played with Kevin Durant. But was he before that?
He did. I'm just saying. I do not think... I think he was, like, earlier in the run.
He might have been.
Let me see. Okay, so the starters: Durant, Westbrook, Ibaka. Oh, I love Serge Ibaka.
Oh, yeah.
He was so cool. Steven Adams, Andre Roberson, Dion Waiters as a 6-man, Ennis Freedom off the bench. Oh my God.
Sorry, I dead named him earlier.
Did you call him Cantor? That's fucked up, dude.
But yeah, so obviously, like, swap the two guys. Shea's having a way harder time on that team, and Kevin Durant's having a way easier time this year.
Shea looking to his left and seeing Russell Westbrook. What's going on? What am I supposed to do right now?
Can you guys get out of the way? Like, and that I think they were a great rebounding, specifically the Adams Cantor combo.
Yeah.
But they were a great rebounding combo. But it's like Shea's like, come on, get out of my way.
That is crazy. Between Durant, Westbrook, Ibaka, and Steven Adams, what is that? 7, 8, 8, 4. That's like 30 rebounds across 4 guys.
The Stash Bros. But so in the end, I think it's valid to go either way. If you're ready to say Shea's the best Thunder ever, that's fine. But if you're still Kevin Durant, that's fine.
And I will entertain Shea greatest Thunder, Durant like greatest player. That's a totally valid take to me.
Schlong Lover 23 Thunder.
Okay, last Thunder one. So.
Hello, Mr. Poop and Miss P. You're Miss P. Assuming
That's
the Thunder
fine.
win
I don't
this
think
title,
it's bad to be a woman, but apparently you do. Whatever.
It's bad to be pee. It smells. Poop can
Aren't
be
you
eaten
poop?
by animals and fuel the economy, the nature economy, the bio economy.
Hey, okay.
Assuming the Thunder win the title this year, how long do you think they can sustain the dynasty? And can
10 years.
Can this be the start of a dynasty? The second April makes it tough. I don't know, but I hope we can get 6 good. Let's go. Whatever the lifespan of these picks are, let's go up to 2030.
Yeah. I think if you could make it to Shea's age 30 season, fielding really talented rosters around him, that would be, I think that's like a high-end result for this kind of run.
So, De'Aaron Fox Mulder left a Kings question. Kings, how do we deal with the Sabonis problem? Is there a God who's listening? You can't deal with the Sabonis. Oh, John Hollinger went on Zach Lowe's podcast, said, get Sabonis to Atlanta with Trey. Get him there. That's the tandem we need. People just say things to make me mad. Like, who else was that for?
Yeah, Sabonis. Yeah. I think you're locked in there for a little while. Okay. But yeah, for the Thunder longevity of a potential dynasty, I think through Shea's age 30 season, that's like reasonable. If you can continue to make good decisions the way the Thunder have, you can expect that. But also, all it really takes is like one disastrous thing, and you're behind the 8 ball. Like, everything is so precarious in the NBA.
And we have 2 Wolves questions. Let's hit these real quick.
Okay, I mean, I'm in no hurry, so whatever.
Wolves. The real Gavin. I'm sad for multiple reasons. Number 1, because the Wolves are down 2-0. Number 2, because Pablo isn't coming to the lobbyist meetup in New Zealand. What will it take for both these wrongs to be made right? Number 2, I'll never meet you freaks in real life.
We got to meet
Idiots.
him somewhere.
Oh, shoot. Someone made a threat to me in the lobbyist thread. Sonic Sanguine. Pablo, I'll be in Chicago soon. If I spot you, can I get your Twitter burner?
Guys, if you go up to Pablo in public, he will deny being Pablo Escobar.
Of course I will.
No, you're crazy.
I'm always wearing headphones. I will pretend I didn't hear you, and I'll keep it pushing.
Guys, if you see Pablo, airdrop him a screenshot of the most recent podcast episode. It'll be like the movie Drop. Oh my god.
The Washington Wanker, a.k.a. Shingun Lover, he said, all other Kiwis, drop your address below. No one's dropped it.
Guys, nobody put your address.
But the other Wolves fan is RYXXBU34. Rebu 34. I don't know. Wolves, am I insane for thinking we could still win the series? Game 2 did have a lot going wrong, but the effort late in the 4th, along with being at home and further adjustments, could see us getting back into this. Just need Finch to lock in and play Clark and TSJ more. I'm so serious. Nice. They could give us better playoff minutes than Dante. Come on. We got to get some Terrence Shannon in here.
Come on.
We got to see what happens.
Finch, give the people what they want.
And if guys, we're 11. Chase having 11 of 15 games. Throw some Clark on him.
Yeah. Get Clark County. Let's get him in there.
Let's get Clark County.
I will say the 4th quarter of game 2, it's tough to be like, this is how we get it done, and 2 of your 3 best players are like on the bench. It's tough. It's tough to imagine that's like a sustainable approach to the rest of the series.
I think you're donezo. Hey, but certain ligaments.
Hey, he thought the Suns would beat the.
I thought
Wolves.
the Suns, dude. I thought the Bulls beat the Heat in 2010.
Hey, I'm wrong every day.
Hey, you're one injury away from turning
well, you can't
this thing
shade
around.
his ligaments go every direction.
That's true.
The problem.
But there's got to be something else, some other part of his body that's weak to make up for that.
He's deeply pro Justin Trudeau. So
what if he had a stroke or something? Then he couldn't play.
Shea?
Yeah, maybe he's prone to brain injuries. Oh, what if he has hidden epilepsy this whole time? Flash some lights at him during the game, guys.
I'm not going to condone that.
Okay. Well, all right, fine. Because you have to be PC, guys. We condemn flashing lights at Jay to test his epilepsy and potentially give him seizures or spasms.
And Hamas. Next question.
End.
All right. Oh, I saw what killed me was Ken Klippenstein, the bit we had where I was going to read the manifesto live on air. Ken Klippenstein, FBI people visited his house after he published that. So, good thing I didn't read that live on air because I don't want to get visited.
Well, no, we don't know where he got it, but hey, I trust him.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he made it up. Who knows?
All right. So Pacers, Knicks.
You want to timestamp it?
Time to stamp that.
I'm thinking pee break. So,
okay.
Let me pause. Okay.
Why is my
guys
my
had to
thing?
take a marketplace of ideas break.
I have a thing that's not. Okay, now it's gone.
Okay. Fuck. What were you gonna do? Pacers go up 2-0 on the Knicks.
Pacers, Knicks. MSG.
Pacers, Knicks. MSG. Is it really bad for you, or was that just 2000s health craze stuff?
Madison Square Garden's bad for you.
Hey, if you're friggin' Timmy Chalamet, I bet you're not feeling too good after that MSG, am I right?
Yeah, hit the toilet, Timmy. Oh, why? I don't have to poop. No, just go to the toilet, Timmy. Look what's in there. He looks in there. I shove his head down and flush it.
That's the real Knicks tape,
Guys,
baby.
send this
Get
clip to
fucking
Timothy
bullied.
Chalamet. So
Guys,
he
everybody
knows I
tag
give him a
Timothy
swear
Chalamet.
alert.
Tag his YouTube account in the comments.
Oh, okay.
Say Dune sucked, but Dune 2 was good. Let's confuse them.
Okay.
Yeah, so 2-0. Knicks are down, headed back to Indiana. This was very much... So the first game, it was like, oh, Pacers Black Magic. This is crazy. And then this game, it was like, just better basketball team, really. Siakam, 39 points, 75% true shooting.
Oh, what a masterclass.
He was beating the dog shit out of Karl Anthony Towns. It was pretty... I don't know. Nobody could really stop him, but he made the cat minutes pretty untenable, and that led to a lot of Mitchell Robinson, and that kind of led to a lot of problems on the offensive end for the Knicks, it felt like. Brunson, great game. 36 points, 11 assists, 62% true shooting. Really the only consistent offensive presence for New York.
Let me pull up the box score of this game.
Guys box score watching. Probably didn't even watch it.
Yeah, because the thing about the box score is like, it has the end of the game. If I watch the game, then I have to wait like 40
I don't know what
minutes.
happens.
Come on, guys. So Aaron Nesmith was way worse than last game, so that's something we have to be worried about.
He's not going to average 30 for the series? Fuck.
But yeah, just insanely balanced effort from Minnesota outside of the Siakam masterclass as usual. Oh, I didn't realize Halliburton shot this poorly. I feel
it doesn't matter.
I feel like he's got the hardest to, like, the most difficult pull-up shooting mechanic to stop, because it's just like he rises up so quick. Maybe that's what I'm trying. He's got the quickest, I think, pull-up. Maybe Steph like times out quicker, but
yeah,
his blending between just a regular dribble hezzy and then going into the pull-up three is crazy fast. But yeah, I felt like he was good in this game, even though he didn't score that well.
What did he finish? 14 points, 11 assists, 8 rebounds, 1 turnover, 5 of 16 from the field.
Nemhard was great defensively. And then and these are evenly matched games, but still it's just, I don't know, the Pacers are finding ways to separate down the stretch.
Yeah, God damn. This fucking cop is just spamming his fucking siren outside.
He's ulting.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god, he's camped on fucking point and he won't stop. Yeah, so from the Knicks perspective, having to bench Karl, I've been seeing a lot of doom from not Knicks fans per se, but more so just like the basketball sphere about like, yeah, this is the problem with Karl Anthony Towns, is that it's like pretty unsustainable to run him at the 5 defensively. And when he's not giving you like incredible offense, it just is not. And like, this is not per minute or whatever, 20 points in 25 minutes on, what did he finish? 6 of 14 from the field, but he got 6 free throws. So, I mean, I don't know. Like, I assume the true shooting percentage is fine.
And there were some... Do you remember, like, down the stretch of this game, Josh Hart got a wide open layup because they trapped Jalen Brunson?
Yeah.
That happened because Towns was out there, and Miles Turner was way pulled over into the corner. So there are still benefits.
Gravity plays, but... Yeah. But at the same time,
Aaron Nesmith had a gravity play where like 2 guys ran with him instead of Miles Turner. He got a wide open dunk. I was like, whoa, nice. Steph Curry.
Yeah. So yeah, I just don't really. I'm not sure what adjustments the Knicks really make because they don't have that much depth either. I thought this was one of the worst games I've ever seen Campaign play. Like pound for pound, minute for minute, or whatever.
Well, obviously you weren't locked in on him with the Bulls, so.
Hey, there's no stakes there, you know.
Underrated bad trade.
Well, it's because he danced with Westbrook, so he had potential.
What did we give up? We gave up Doug McDermott and Taj.
Damn,
for
average Bulls trade. What did we give up? Jimmy Butler for campaign.
Franchise icon Taj Gibson. We gave a franchise icon Taj Gibson and Doug McDermott, serviceable shooter, for campaign and Joffrey Laverne, and maybe a second-round pick.
Doug McDermott single-handedly almost beat the Nuggets earlier this year. It was like garbage time against the Kings, and they were up. The Nuggets were up like 15, and he literally pulled a Neesmith. He checked into the game, and he hit like 6 straight threes.
Nice.
And it was like, dude, is this really happening right now? Just go to sleep.
The Bulls traded with the Nuggets to get him 2014. That's why the Nuggets had we had 2 picks. We traded up those 2 picks to move up. So the Nuggets got Gary Harris and Nurkic, and then we got Doug McDermott because he was actually the missing piece to our team. Our Jimmy Butler, Derrick Rose, Pau Gasol, Joakim Noah, Taj Gibson team that we just needed a shooter. So
nice.
He was our missing
that's
piece.
A shooter through and through.
That's a shooter. Maybe the worst defender ever, but shooter.
Yeah. So I don't know. How do you feel about? I feel this is one where it's like the Knicks have been better on the road in the playoffs. The Pacers in both games have gotten performances that, like, you can't count on to have one of those every game. If it's Siakam straight up unconscious first half, he was unstoppable, or obviously Neesmith the way he closed game 1. You could have a game in Indiana where none of that happens. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't feel like you've gotten like a truly great OG or Mikal Bridges game yet. So, I don't know. There's avenues for the Knicks to play better. It's just, when you take a step back and look at the macro issues here, it's like, damn, Brunson and Cat, very untenable defense. Cat can be so bad defensively at times that his offense doesn't make up for it. And Mitchell Robinson is pretty much unplayable at the end of games. Obviously the free throw shooting, but really just his offense. Like, nobody on the floor can take advantage of him as a lob threat or as a roller, it feels like. Even though Brunson is like a good pick and roll operator, that's just not his game. And then, like, the Pacers could have spammed it way more. Every time Robinson gets an offensive rebound, wrapping him up is the move. Until they outlaw it, like, it's the Pacers have that in their back pocket.
And even the Knicks' good defenders were making mistakes down the stretch for this. Like, OG fell asleep a couple times off the ball. Bridges, there's one play like Halliburton barely moved and then he stumbled. I was like, geez, did he cross him up? And I rewind it. I'm like, I think he just fell. I don't know.
Yeah.
What's crazy is this game, at the end, when Brunson got called for that foul on the inbound, like, that pass was going out of bounds, even if he didn't touch him, but he messed up and did the foul. So these games are close, but I just trust this Indiana offensive machine. Let's see, what were the team stats? So they both shot pretty similar from 3, 13 of 30 versus 11 of 32. Points in the paint, they were pretty even as well. Turnovers, only a 3 turnover gap. Yeah, everything is pretty similar. I'll tell you what. It's even the same amount of free throws. They both shot 21. And they both took the same amount of field goals in this game. So this was a very even game.
Yeah. I don't know. This was just one where it was like, it was very exciting the whole time. It was a very close game the whole time. And then there was just a few plays. When you spend the whole game being like, every layup takes the lead back, like it's just tied the entire time. Once you get like 6 minutes left in the fourth and one team finally makes a mistake, it's just like, oh, shit. That's really big. Like 4 points feels like 10 points in this game. And there was several consecutive of those possessions for New York. And then Brunson got a lot of heat online. He took a bad pull-up 3 with the game in the balance because he didn't want them to be
the
able
deep
to
one?
foul.
Yeah.
I don't hate that. We got to get better at missing free throws. That's my big takeaway from everything. We got to be able to purposefully miss a free throw exactly right. We got to lock in on that front.
How's no one mastered chucking it off the rim to go right back into your hands? It's crazy.
That's what I'm saying.
I do feel like on the replay, it looked like Towns could have been open, like one pass away at the slot for a three on that long Brunson three, so that might have been better. But yeah, it's not the craziest reasoning. I mean, look, he's not Damian Lillard, so we can't trust him to hit that shot. But yeah, not the wildest decision.
I have some stats here. I brought numbers. Sorry, everybody, try to stay awake while I read these.
Calculator boy.
KNICKS. Wow, this car's trying to silence me.
Bro watches basketball through a calc. That's short for calculator.
Short for calc?
Calc is short for calculator.
Calculate these nuts, pal.
Oh.
The KNICKS officially have the worst most played lineup of any conference finals team since 2008. The KNICKS, I believe what's crazy is number 2 or the second worst was the 2017 Spurs. Their most played lineup was like -9, I think. I guess probably. I don't know what their lineup ended up being once Kawhi went down, but yeah, they were -9. This KNICKS starting lineup though, -9.5 per 100 possessions. A lot of people very upset with Tom Thibodeau right now. He's being outcoached by Carlisle. That's the word on the street.
Because Carlisle, he's pulling all the right levers. Tony Bradley minutes.
Bradley lever.
This is what we need. Another former Bull. Yeah, we got Ben Shepherd minutes, 2 for 3 from 3.
Hey, good Ben Shepherd
Woo!
minutes.
The good TJ McConnell off the bench. Yeah, it's crazy. He'll just play anybody. But I mean, what do they want? What do they want Tibbs to do? I don't think this is a schematic.
Well, there's no. Yeah, I don't know. Like, the Pacers have all these levers, and the KNICKS are like this
we have
locomotive.
Deuce McBride, and we have Mitchell Robinson, and we have if Campaign is hitting shots. But
they're like the Polar Express train, where it's just a big lever in the middle of the room, and it's just like click or clack. Those are our 2 settings for the lever. You want
get PJ out there.
Well, did you see Carlisle? People were praising his mind games because he said, "Yep, I know we're gonna have to be ready for Precious Achiuwa at some point," and it's like you want him to play Achiuwa. He's bad. That's why you're saying
no.
this.
I won't.
I know we're gonna have to be ready for that.
Tibbs, all right, I'm not playing him then. Let me get a step ahead. Yeah, I don't even know. I feel if Rick Carlisle was coaching the Knicks, do you think we'd see more of these guys? Probably see some DeLon Wright.
Well, we'd probably have seen it over the course of the season. It's unrealistic.
Yeah.
It's unrealistic to be like, give me DeLon Wright minutes now, down 0-2.
Well, he
played
a little
finals.
bit. He played at the end of the regular season. He should be. Well, has he played at all these playoffs? I feel like
he played 26 seconds last game.
Okay, epic.
To close the one of the quarters, they had a defensive possession, and it was like, get out there. Yeah, but like, I don't know, Landry Shamet, Precious Achiuwa, DeLon Wright. If we're getting fucking Jalen Pickett minutes against the Oklahoma City Thunder, there's got to be a way to like at least roll these guys out, get your starters some rest or something.
I mean, if like what did Rick Carlisle see to where he's like, yeah, it's not a Thomas Bryant game, it's a Tony Bradley game?
Well, Thomas Bryant, he played straight up terribly. What was he? -9 in 4 minutes? God damn, dude. Yeah, 0 points, 0 everything, 1 turnover. It was a rough Thomas Bryant game for sure, but it just didn't matter. They have so much depth that it's like, whatever, who cares?
So may as well go into some Pacers lobbyist requests.
Let's get it.
Michael Palumbo, Pascal gonna fry J-Dub. And so in this game, I did write down where his points came from. So he made 4 fadeaway ISOs,
Okay.
5 transition finishes,
Okay.
1 ghost screen pop 3,
Ooh, scary.
3 drives on mismatches on little guys, and then 2 spot up threes. So he was getting it in variety, but yeah, he really is a little guy killer. And honestly, in this game, I feel like he didn't even Towns wasn't the guy who was on him for most of these scores. Like he scored a lot on OG and all these mismatches were on like Brunson and these guys. And there was even a play like down the stretch at the end where he faked out Mitchell Robinson, got him in the air, and then faked through him. Idiot. So yeah, he definitely. It was nice to see a little Pascal slob fest after the game. Like even Draymond was like, yeah, he's one of the
only guy I ever lost my matchup besides Julius Randle.
Yeah, and then people posted the graph from 2019 where it's like highest scoring playoff duos ever, and him and Kawhi were number 2, behind Jordan and Pippen, or it was like Jordan, Pippen, LeBron, Wade, Pascal, Kawhi.
Nice.
So yeah, it was nice, but yeah, Pascal, he's just good.
It's crazy if you go look at the package they gave up to get him now, where it was like 2 2024 first round picks, I think a first this year, and then like Bruce Brown and like no one else.
Yeah, I remember when it first happened, I was like, I don't know about this. Is he going to resign? And then immediately he's like, I'm going to resign. It's like, okay, that's not bad.
It's also crazy to look at this team and be like, yeah, Bruce Brown just didn't fit. It just wasn't working or whatever. Like everybody works here. It feels like I don't understand how a guy. I don't know if T.J. McConnell can be here, and maybe that's me overestimating Bruce Brown or whatever.
I think Bruce Brown's best basketball does come off the wake of superstars, like short roll stuff, cutting.
Yeah.
This offense, in transition he could play with them, but in half court it feels like all these guys are a little more capable on their own. Like Andrew Nembhard can do stuff on his own, Halliburton does stuff on his own, Siakam on his own, Miles Turner on his own, TJ on his own. Like, do we have self creation from literally everybody?
Thomas Bryant, probably not.
Not Obi Toppin, not Tony Bradley, but yeah, for just a ton from these guys. But also, how much was he injured in his time there?
I don't remember.
But Josh Lerman says Pacism, the Halaban, Twin Towers, New York. Is there a growing distaste for pacists in America?
No. I would say most people are pro Pacers. Because nobody likes the Thunder anymore.
It's crazy. Because is Halliburton hate going down? Because the most overrated player in the NBA. Yeah,
I think people saw the results of that poll. They're like, well, that's not true. That's me. Come on. And
that's
so then
mean. That's Trey.
That's Trey. Immediately juxtaposed with Jalen Brunson and Shea flopping discourse, just falling all over themselves, while the based Chad, Tyrese Halliburton, just dominates and wins without any of that trickery. And yeah, I don't know. It's just like been all of these super exciting wins have kind of endeared this team to people.
He's a big shot maker.
Big time players. So yeah, I would say Pacism probably on the rise in America.
Yeah, guys, teach it to your daughters. Modest Bolzellistan, Pacers. Hey, fellas, as an Iowa State alum, yuck, and founding member of the Halaban, it's exciting to see our great leaders' empire expand outside of the caves in Ames, Iowa. They have caves there? Looking back at the top 20 player ranking episode, has Hallie now cemented himself in that category? I think he has. Also, modest second team all-rookie, a small light in our Bullstar. Oh, they did all-rookie teams? I didn't even say.
Yes, they did.
Oh, God. But
Bub
yeah.
Carrington, second team, baby.
Oh shoot. Yours forever, MBS. Wait, MBS from Saudi Arabia?
What's MBS?
That's Mohammed bin Salman, right?
I don't know.
The
I
leader.
don't follow that stuff.
More into video games, dude.
Yeah.
Talk about
I'm
Fortnite.
into like cool stuff. Darth Vader's AI in Fortnite now.
How have you played it?
I haven't talked to him now.
But is there one? Is there one per map, or how does it work?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've seen people. I guess you can like hire him to run around with you. God fucking damn it, you talk.
So yeah, I think I had Halliburton. Do you have our top 20 lists anywhere saved or no?
I don't know. If you keep yapping, I'll look.
But I feel like I had him decently high. I had him like, did I put him over Brunson? Maybe I had him one spot behind Brunson. I don't know, but
I think we both had him kind of right outside the top 10.
But he's for sure top 20. But yeah, look at I don't know if he's jumped anyone necessarily. Like, do you feel okay? He's clearly better than Donovan Mitchell, maybe, but I don't know. It's not. I saw a lot from Donovan Mitchell these playoffs, so I
would say I'm probably going Halliburton over Donovan Mitchell, but I think it was closer for me than it was for you at the outset.
And there's still like I probably had Devin Booker over him still, and so is he jumping Devin Booker for me? It's hard. It's hard for one guy who's primarily off ball and one guy who.
It's hard for one guy who's goated and one guy.
Well,
who's
one guy's
dating
got so
the Kardashians.
One guy's got so much swag. Hey, they're not dating anymore, dude.
What happened?
Just life.
Oh, yeah, Timmy's courtside with both of them. I forgot. Damn, bro.
Sheesh. And Bad Bunny was there.
Huh?
Bad Bunny was there. Bad Bunny's with Kendall now.
Bad Bunny, he's always there.
Yo soy Bad Bunny.
Did you listen to the Jon Stewart, Bill Simmons Bill Simmons up?
Yeah.
It was good. I liked it.
Yeah. You want a good Jon Stewart interview? Watch him with Conan. It was good. But yeah, I wonder how high Halliburton will scale if they do end up doing anything crazy in the finals. Let's see. Pacers. Oh. Pacers. I don't know how to. He said, please say this as Shakespearean as possible. And
okay.
This is from the order of ... Thou hath no fury like a Pacer's scorn. Thy Knickerbockers thought they weren't the underdogs. Pitiful! Do Pabloink and Jork believe we need one or two more aggressive Halley scoring performances to close out the series?
Okay,
or
I gotta go close my window. It's getting too loud.
Can he be passive? Honestly, it really just depends on the aggregate. We got to think of this Pacers team as more so of a 5-man unit than any other team. So I think they could win even if he has a similar game like he has the last game, where it's like 14 points on 16 shots, so long as he's pulling in 11 assists and just creating opportunities for guys, because he is having success going to the rim, beating these bigs off switches and stuff like that. And if he has big games I guess you do need a big game. You want one big game to match Brunson, because it seems like he's going to have a big game every night. But if you could get them from Siakam, if you could get them from Nesmith, that seems to be the recipe.
I just ate a sour candy while I was up.
All right. We don't need your opinion on that one. I covered it really good.
Guys, I agree with everything he said.
OKC and Pacers. So it's looking like we're going to have the Power of Friendship finals. Do you think this is really just unique to these two teams, or are we moving fully away from the Big Three to the Big 3 through 8 meta? So I think
we're moving towards the middle of nowhere meta.
Oh.
So isolate your team as much as possible.
Oh, God.
Make it as hard as possible to get to. And then, you should make the finals, theoretically.
Yeah, the secret is living in hell, Indiana. But I think the Big 3 meta has been over for a little while. I think it was Big 2 plus help meta. That's what we had for a little bit. And so that was like the Raptors, Kawhi and Pascal, tons of help.
Yeah.
The Lakers, LeBron and AD, tons of help. 21, who won?
The
Well,
Bucks?
that's more of a big three.
Well, I would
But
say
they
Drew
had
and
a lot of
Chris-
help.
Drew and Chris equal 1 AD.
Maybe not even. I don't know. I don't. Nah, they're both good. Who won after who? The Warriors.
Yeah.
I guess that's a big three.
Fluke, fake, ridiculous.
Who's after the war? Who's 23?
Denver Nuggets.
Denver Nuggets. That's big too. Correct.
Yeah.
Or-
I mean, yeah. I don't, unless you want to
Yeah.
count Aaron Gordon.
Yeah, that's a. Oh, now I do. I don't know about that. 24.
That was Celtics. That's a big 8.
That's too big. So I don't know. We're in a big world, but
Yeah.
but it feels less good to have max minimum.
Yes.
But yeah, these teams are very unique, and so how attainable is it to assemble these rosters?
Thunder, very hard.
Well, Lou Dort, undrafted or second round pick. Caruso, late pick.
Scammed.
And they scammed to get him now. But
Oh, you're talking through the draft, how to add Caruso.
yeah, he was a late pick.
Okay, well, I mean, yeah, if you
middle
just
of
fucking
the lottery.
draft 2 all-defense guys in the second round, you'll probably be set up pretty good.
But so like, how many of these guys were hard to get? Shea was hard to get. Well, Shea was another mid-lottery guy that they did. It was hard for them to get.
I feel like that's harder to get. Like, adding a player as good as Shea, hardest thing in basketball to me.
Yeah, well, yeah, and just to get this, if Shea's not a superstar, this whole thing doesn't work.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they would still have a shot, but it would be much more like a Pacers chance than like what OKC feels like right now. So Shea, very difficult to get your hands on a player that good, just because it's so unpredictable how that's going to happen. Sometimes you get the number 1 overall. Like if Cooper Flag becomes that level of guy, it's like, okay, yeah, that's the pick panned out or whatever.
Or Face Bailey does, yeah.
Yeah, or if Bryce finally gets some grind down there.
Well, when Bryce gets minutes, yeah.
When Bryce gets some run, oh my God, it's over. So yeah, but alternatively, Jokic, Giannis, Shea, I guess Tatum to a certain degree, like still a super high pick, but like to me the 3rd overall pick is still even very different than like consensus number 1.
Well, that was, yeah. People, there's a lot of revisionist. I don't like the revisionism with that year because people have turned it into like Markelle Fultz Markelle
Fultz was a fake prospect.
Guys, pull up the Washington clips. And Tatum definitely had flaws, like big time flaws as a prospect. But yeah, this I don't know. Both of them are kind of attainable. Like obviously the hardest parts are hard to get, but a lot of these Pacers guys. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of just it's misfit toys assembled.
Yeah. Pacers much more realistic. I think through traditional means, if you make the right decisions and have a little bit of luck, getting a Halliburton level player is much more realistic than adding like Shea.
One of the most unbelievable trades ever. Really, the Luka trade before Luka is they didn't let anyone know Halliburton was available because they wanted Sabonis. That was it. No bidding war, everybody.
We're just trying to avoid all the mess. We don't want any of the riffraff that comes along with someone trying to give me $1 million.
Yeah, come on, dude. We don't want to play it on the media, dude. And Tyrese Halliburton loves being a king, so he'll be sad and like.
Yeah, it's fricked up.
We don't want to be sad here. Be sad there.
Yeah, could be sad in hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so Indiana, pretty realistic to put together. The Timberwolves, pretty realistic to put together. Probably I don't know. You don't even need that much luck. Like, you need the same amount of luck to hit on a player as good as Anthony Edwards. Which, like, honestly, I feel like his progression arc, like, I feel like we kind of default to comparing him to where he's at right now versus, like, 26 and 27-year-olds. I feel like he's going to be so fucking crazy still.
He's going to be unbelievable.
Yeah, like, so adding him, pretty tough. Adding Gobert,
that's
difficult.
A huge trade, like huge assets sunk into that, and huge money.
Yeah, it's not impossible. It's just you have to hit on what is a very big swing, and if you don't hit, everything is immediately over. And then Julius Randle,
this still pretty risky.
Yeah, pretty difficult to add a guy like that. You have to.
Yeah, you have to give up a former number 1 pick.
I mean, yeah, you have to like draft your own all-star and then flip him into a guy like that. And then you have to get all like Naz Reid undrafted, right?
Yeah, Naz Reid they got late. Jaden McDaniels they got late. Nickeil Alexander-Walker was like just.
He was like a throw-in with the Jazz trade, right?
He was on the Pelicans. He was drafted to the Pelicans. I forget if he had a different stop after there or just straight from the Pelicans. But he was a guy people didn't value that much. But really, I think the ultimate lesson is just drafting is the most powerful thing. If you can hit on draft picks consistently, even if you don't hit big, like just hitting, it's valuable. Mm-hmm. Not even just for your team, but for trades.
He was when Mike Conley went to the Wolves. Nick Naw was attached to that.
That's pretty sick.
That's a crazy throw-in. Like to get this kind of a player out of just like an extra. That's wild. So yeah, I mean I agree with you.
There's depth meta. Jokic said it.
Yeah. Drafting more important than ever. Asset management more important than ever. Not overpaying guys more important than ever. So I feel like
are we gonna get to a point where like in football they do this all the time? Where like a guy's in his prime and he wants money and it's like, nah, I don't want that. Like, are we gonna get to a point where the Grizzlies are like, we'll just let Jaren walk?
I feel like it's definitely I mean, I think more teams should be willing to do that because it's like,
yeah,
you know, you lose this idea that like you lose a player for nothing in free agency. It's been like this really scary concept the entire time I've watched the NBA.
Yeah,
it's like been something that ruins your team, and it's tough to recover from for sure. It sets you back a while, but there's plenty of players that have gotten paid that if you go look at like how that payday affected the way the team went, it's probably the wrong decision. And like leaving yourself open to pivot to different things, it's the right move in a number of cases.
Guys, we'll see if the Brock Purdy contract pays off. Onodera Pun Pacers. Hello, I've returned from my hiatus. I've been unable to wrap my brain around the Pacers' unfounded success. I think this team is a perfect storm of bought-in, underrated role players and a mastermind coaching staff. That being said, Tornado Alley is the Pacers' limit. What move can the Pacers realistically make this offseason to push them over the top and contend with the Thunder and healthy Celtics? Healthy Celtics are gone, buddy. Get over it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the silver lining of this Pacers team. It's like, hey, East is pretty open next year.
I think we have to see them in action versus the Thunder to see what's really going on. Because I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind legitimate backup center minutes. I wouldn't mind.
What the heck? Tony Bradley soaked up 10.
More like Tony Badley.
Oh.
Nice. Yeah, legit backup center minutes, definitely an option. And I think the depth, it's great. And I think you're seeing back-to-back pretty healthy runs for Indiana because they have so many players that it's like reverse tips where it's like, hey, we're depth to an annoying extent. We're running Tony Bradley out there in the conference finals. Maybe that's like a driving reason behind all of us being 100% in back-to-back years. I know Halliburton wasn't, but still, like the rest of the team. I don't even remember what I was saying. I'm completely gone now. What was the question again?
What move can they make to contend with the Thunder in the offseason?
I think
what would they need, yeah.
You could theoretically consolidate a couple of these players into like a better role player on paper or whatever.
Miles Turner for AD.
Oh shit, Miles Turner, shot blocker,
Shot
defense.
blocker, defense. Well, now Nico's like, well, 3-year timeline was before. Now I'm on a 30.
Now I'm looking towards the future.
No, I'm no longer suicidal.
Yeah,
I believe in.
But
the future.
I think you can also is better versions of Nembhard and Neesmith.
I don't think no. I would want to keep those guys because for the money they're on, I don't think you could get.
No, I'm saying like heading into next year. Is there a version of either of those players where you get like a serious step forward from them?
Last year, I kind of anticipated a step forward creation-wise from Nembhard.
People are giving him SGA comps on my timeline all the time. He bumps them in the mid-range, so good.
So maybe him. Neesmith, I feel like he kind of is what he is, and he could explode. But what draft is he in? He's like 2020 or something? Or 20.
It's the only time Danny Ainge ever got scammed.
Idiot. But yeah, I don't know. I really want to see the matchup first. But
yeah.
Private Pap. What's up, Schlopper and Plopper? It's looking like a Thunder Pacers finals. Do the Pacers have any real chance against the Thunder's brick shithouse defenders? Moan the Pacers. Let's have it. Dash Mr. Penis.
Let's have it.
I really don't think, I think it'll be competitive because people forget the Pacers were competitive with the Celtics last year, even though, did it end up being a sweep?
Yes, but it was a very competitive
It's the closest sweep ever. So I really do think it'll be competitive. It just matters if the Thunder are able to scale up to that pace and just outdo the Pacers, then they'll be thumped. But if they're not, if they start playing more mistake basketball, I don't know. I'm more optimistic. I don't think it'll necessarily be a thumping. I think it could be even closer than Minnesota.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like Minnesota's a really good defense,
they are very good. Honestly, that's a normal team contender for sure. Normal NBA contender.
Yeah. And I'm not offensively, it's whatever. I thought this was going to be a bad matchup for Randall. And they have some problems. But just defensively, they have some lineups that they should be able to roll out and make it really hard for OKC. And it feels like the Thunder have not even seen them on their radar. It feels like Shea has been completely under control the entire time. Mm-hmm. J-Dub and Chet looking that comfortable in game 2. If I'm a Wolves fan, that worries me. Because it's like, dude, we need you guys to panic. We need you guys to be, making mistakes and shit. And they absolutely weren't. And so, I know the Pacers were a really good defense. They have been since January 1st. They've guarded, Cleveland really well and all that stuff. But if it boils down to, who can make the other's life more difficult, I think life will be very difficult for Indiana. I think, think about Miles Turner going to war with that front court, dude. I guess Miles Turner and Siakam, but still, that's tough.
Let's see. Oh, I'll read this isn't Pacers, but this is first-time lobbyist.
Hey, welcome to the show.
Evan McKinney. Hello, Joe Shit and Pooplo. Long-time listener, but first-time lobbyist request. Was curious with all this talk of basketball terrorists, what the opposite would be considered and what players would consist of it. This is the Cavs comer signing out. Come on.
Okay. I thought we were past that. We hadn't had a new one in a while there.
So the opposite of a terrorist is a CIA agent or a U.S. Enforcement, U.S.
horseshoe
law enforcement.
Theory,
Anyone fighting for the U.S. is not a terrorist. So.
Oh, okay, all right. So a basketball covert ops guy.
Yeah.
SEAL Team 6 basketball.
Yeah.
So that's
Andrew Nembhard. It's the opposite of a basketball.
I was going to say Halliburton, really.
Yeah.
If we can't say stars, then we could get into that. But Halliburton, no wasted possessions ever. it's very rare that he touches the ball and you're like, what the fuck was that? How did we end up with that shot? Like, you get a really good look every time. It's very efficient hoops. And all of those traits become, like, magnified in the clutch.
Yeah. I mean, who else on each team? Let's see. Who on the Knicks?
Oh, man.
I suppose, like, the idealized version of like, OG or McCall. But they make some mistakes. But still.
Yeah. OG's probably the closest, I would say, but they don't have one.
Caruso.
Not every team has a SEAL Team 6 hoop.
Yeah, Caruso is that, and then
the Wolves genuinely might not have one. I guess Nickeil Alexander-Walker was close, but as the scoring wanes, he's not that, like, level of defender or whatever. Jaden McDaniels, big strides towards being.
This playoffs, right? He's been very good.
So, like, if we look at, has been a terrorist in the past, reform school, he's getting ready to graduate. He's pretty good.
All right, let's pivot to Knicks. So, endangered Creamer, guys, hunt him down. It's
Guys,
like, I am
get his
number 4,
ass.
get him. He said, Knicks, please don't talk about the Knicks. Please don't talk about. He said that for like 30 lines, and then he said, "Real question. Despite being one of the only morally pure Knicks fans, I'm an anti-Zionist Jew in the real ancestral Jewish homeland of Long Island, New York. I can honestly say that I'm at my limit of Tibbs basketball. Sure, he's been around for the revival of Knicks basketball, but his style of limited rotations coupled with an already weak playoff bench can just be incredibly frustrating. Getting the Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals should be a miracle in this East, but to me, it only reveals the difference between us and the depth of real contenders. Is there any offseason moves that can be made, or is this the peak of Brunson ball, barring an explosive leap from one of our auxiliary pieces? Also,
a lot of teams need bigs.
Ran into crazy financial woes, so this may be my last Patreon episode for a while. Just want to say I love the show, and thanks for the content, fellas.
Sell your car.
If any other morally pure Knicks fans want to wallow with me, hit me up on IG at CallMeKismet. Yeah, get a second job.
Yeah, what the fuck? It's America. Grind. Come on.
Listen. We all hate Israel. Just hit up APEC. Tell him you'll do a little posting for him.
Insider secret here. Buy a carton of cigarettes.
Oh.
Stand on the corner by your nearest elementary school.
Oh.
Sell a couple Lucy's, $1 a cigarette.
Okay.
Get them hooked. First one's free, and then go from there.
Yeah, and then become a doctor or invent a cure to tarred lungs, specifically in under 14-year-olds. Then you'll really make a killing.
And then patent it. That's important.
Yes. But yeah, I mean, the Tibbs thing, he's just never going to give it up. He's never going to play long rotation. If it hasn't happened.
It would be crazy if, like, next year, full 180.
Yeah.
He's like, I understand we need to embrace steps. Let's go.
Like, he got fired. He had these issues with the Bulls, but he wasn't fired for that. He was fired because we had crazy people in the front office, and they were bugging his office, and they like just wanted to fight him, and it was crazy.
Nice.
Minnesota got fired for. Why was he fired? Was it for lack of success, or was it
probably lack of success? I guess. Yeah,
I guess
because the Wolves sucked.
Oh, and he was put in charge of personnel there, right?
I think so, but I don't really remember.
I think he was, and he did a bad job. And then now he's been good with the Knicks, but this whole time, like, there was a time where he was unemployed, and it's like Tom Thibodeau's going around the rest of the NBA and learning, and he's cutting off his weaknesses. He spent time with Golden State.
Nice.
But here we are, like 15 years into his head coaching career. He's been a coach for 50 years. And he's still doing this. So I think it's just not going to happen. He's just not going to play a bench. But maybe if you gave him the talent too, he'd be forced to. I guess so. The only path is to like hit on the draft. But I guess he always can say to young guys, no, he's not ready. He can't play.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I guess you got to land some talent that's undeniable, but it'll be difficult. But I would imagine Tibbs will be back next year, and not much will change.
I did really like the part of this question where it's like getting the Pacers should feel like a miracle. That's what I was thinking when last night when they lost. I was like, if I saw my team, because the Tatum injury, Knicks were going to be up 3-1. Like, that was very legit series win. If I saw my team beat the Celtics in that fashion and then come out and do this to the Pacers, I would like basketball less. I would be so frustrated. And, like, the Pacers are good. They're great. They're better than, like, you or I thought, really. And the Celtics were worse. But still, to be like Celtics super team all year, Celtics versus Thunder finals all year, and then you make it past that, it would be very similar to if like the Nuggets were healthy and they beat the Thunder in a shorter series, like more soundly beat the Thunder, and then just got wrapped up by the Wolves very shortly. Like, that's how it would feel. I'd be so upset.
It's kind of like what happened to the Timberwolves last year. Like, yes! Oh, shoot, we got beat.
Oh, crap. This guy only has one calf. What the hell?
Big Poop, Knicks Pacers. Hello, Mr. Awesome Jack and Mr. Epic Pablo. I'm in need of some guidance in my life. Does Leo the 14th want to join us? Want us to join the church? Does he think the series goes to 5? Seeing an alarming lack of professionalism and care from the head of the church when facing one of the biggest showings of Satanism in the last few decades, and clearly nothing is being done. If the Pacers beat the Knicks, they better have enough sacrifices for the finals as well. I'd rather see the devil win than those ore farmers at the West.
Okay,
Whoa.
I like it.
Yeah, he's guys. Everyone tweet at Pope 14 Leo and tell him address the devil allegations in Halburn. Do you really feel it? Not a coincidence he's in Indiana. Okay. Joe Ingles enjoyer. Welcome, Mr. Poop and Mr. P. Number 1, please assign who's who as above.
I'm
so
P.
We
already established
did,
it.
Pacers win the chip. Hallie has multiple games with 10 points, except that includes 4 game winners in the finals.
Okay.
Will this establish him as the GOAT? Of course it will. Everyone, yes, 100%.
4 game winners in the final. I mean, truly, it would, like, the conversations after would be insane.
He just has it. He has it. LeBron didn't.
He has it. LeBron?
He didn't have the clutch gene, but in year 5. But Halliburton does.
Halliburton does. So we just got to get the first, 47 minutes under control.
Yeah, and
then
he's
we'll
a
be good to
closer.
go.
He's a closer. He's the Bobby Jenks.
You can
Guys,
have the
look
first
that
3
up.
quarters. I'll take the 4th.
Nice. Oh, there used to be, was the LeBron memes back in the Facebook memes? There's something about him not having a 4th quarter.
Yeah, well, there was a bunch. It was like, LeBron, can I have change for $1?
Yeah,
no,
I don't know.
I only have 3 quarters.
Nice.
LeBron, I called you. Why didn't you wake up? Oh, no ring.
No
something
rings.
Like that. Yeah.
No rings. Washington Wanker, a.k.a. Shengun Lover.
This guy again.
Dear Pawballs and Joe Cunt. Can we just bask in how crazy the playoffs have been? Maybe I'm a casual, but I didn't expect the goddamn Pacers, Wolves, and Knicks in the conference finals. That's all, really. Thank you for your brief fears talk last week. As a Wizards fan, I've been consuming draft content nonstop. Don't worry, I'll start posting more on TikTok. It's been an incredible playoffs. Just soak it in, because the Eastern Conference playoffs are going to be horrific next year.
Yes, that's probably true.
Miami Masturbator, Jack and Pablo, what's your opinion on Walter Clayton Jr.? I think he's oozing of aura and could potentially be an underrated pickup for the Miami Heat. You've been Shabazz Napier pilled. He's a small old guard. I'm out. Screw
Walter
you.
Clayton Jr.
He's the Florida guy.
Yeah, this guy sucks. Never pick him up.
Victor Wembanyama says trans rights. Hey, every pony. Should the Knicks blow it up and trade for Gandalf the White? Seems like the only answer to the Pacers' dark devil magic. Plus, he's pretty tall and is a better free throw shooter than Mitch.
Gandalf the White's not real. Fake from the book The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings.
Whoa, is that true?
Yeah.
Whoa.
And that's not a real book like the Bible.
Not yeah. Don't. Was that Tolkien a Jew? No, I don't.
Whoa, I can't. Hey, that's a Pablo exclusive, ladies and gentlemen.
Was he or no? I forgot.
Tolkien?
Yeah.
I'll Google it for you.
Yeah, and make sure it's on a non-mainstream website. Make sure it's a website that specializes in identifying
Tolkien
Jews, secret hidden
Jewish?
Jews.
I Googled, was Tolkien... Google said, why would that matter? Oh, damn, okay.
Oh, whoa. Did they really in the AI?
No, it didn't.
Oh.
All it says is that it was bad that he depicted dwarves.
Okay, so he was on the J.K. Rowling beat?
I never, like, in the movies at least, the dwarves, like...
Well,
they're much more Chad
dwarves.
pilled.
There were like ogres. The industrial guys, are those dwarves or those ogres?
I think those are dwarves. They're like in the mines doing shit.
Yeah, they're doing all the iron work.
Yeah, those are the dwarves. And in the Lord of the Rings shit, the dwarves seem way cool. In like
they're
Rowling,
much more like a Englishman, like an industrial bald Englishman.
Yeah.
Working in a mine.
Working in a mine. I go to the pub, I drink a pint of ale, I go to the mine, get maimed, come back to the pub.
I live in mud. It's nothing but mud.
Live in mud. I eat mushroom soup. Yeah, but like in Harry Potter, they straight up run the banks, and they're like scheming and scary, and they have enormous noses. And it's
hello, my name's Juby Hypnotize. I handle the cash here.
Hello, my name's New World Order. I handle all the coins. It's like, Jesus Christ, J.K. Rowling.
First name Semi, last name Tism.
Oh my
God.
God.
Sam Slippery Feet is K. The Knicks. I hate the Pacers so much. Tyrese Halliburton is such a cornball. He's practically pushing me towards self-harm. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
I want to bury the entire Pacers team under MSG and put them all on the railroad tracks of Penn Station. It'll be the trolley problem, but everybody dies. Officers, get him.
Guys,
he's gonna kill him.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. And then I scroll up, and he's replying to someone else, and he says, perhaps a cock ring crown that fits around Adam Silver's shiny bald head, because, he looks a bit phallic.
He is quite off-putting. When he handed, not even in the phallic way, but, like, he handed Shea the award, and he was like, "You're 2025 NBA MVP," and his eyes were like just very wide.
He does speak like a Harry Potter character.
A little bit, yeah. He's definitely got some. He seems like a guy out of a sketch. Like if we were like on SNL or like a Tim Robinson sketch where it's like, this is what's the commissioner of the NBA like, and you expect like I don't know, some big tall athlete dude or something, and
he
walks.
is tall.
Yeah, but he's like scary. in walks this guy, and it's like, hey, everybody.
One of my friend's girlfriends is scared of him.
Oh, fuck. My dad's FaceTiming me. Dad, get declined.
Oh, pwned. Hey, this one is from Zach Lowe, and it's real.
Holy shit!
It's real. It's got a picture of Zach Lowe. So, hey guys, first, thanks for shouting out my podcast on yours. It really helps. No problem, Zach Lowe.
Hey, we love to help out small creators.
Single game individual plus minus doesn't tell a complete story, but Cat was a -20 in game 2 while Mitchell Robinson was a +6. How did New York lose the Cat minutes so badly when he had 20 points on 60% true shooting? Are him and Robinson playable together if New York is to get back in the series? P.S. What happened to Poopjack94? It inspired me to get back into podcasting. It is on hiatus, definite hiatus.
Yes, it
correct?
is. It might come back next season. I mean, my schedule's open. Isaac, if you go watch their podcast, they're much more produced than this one is. They actually like edit things, and there's like graphics and stuff. And so, for me, editing putting this into CapCut and hitting export, I'm like, that was the most work I've ever done. I can't do this anymore. So, like, I can only imagine he's doing, like, a full 3-hour podcast, editing multiple times a week, and then our shit on top of that. So it's hiatus pilled, but...
hiatus pilled.
It's hiatus pilled break maxing. But at next season, I could see it making a comeback. It's also tough because with the playoffs... there would be nothing to talk about that you and I aren't talking about, and he isn't talking about on his other show. So if we keep doing it, I feel like it might just be like a regular season thing.
Yeah. So as far as Cat, it's really, it feels it's a defensive issue primarily. As for I don't know what the stats are on the him and Robinson together minutes, but.
Oh, I actually wrote him down. Oh, shit, that was one of the other stats. Yeah. So, Cat on, Mitchell Robinson off in the playoffs so far. That is minus 2.2. Cat. Mitchell Robinson on, Cat off, plus 7.6.
Ooh.
And both of them on, plus 21.4.
Really? So how do you know? How
I don't
often-
have the total minutes in front of me for all those lineups. That was from Carson Turdsesh. I stole it from his Twitter. I remember it.
Yeah, so maybe that would be the move more. I don't know. I'll have to lock in, and pay attention to when they're both playing together. Bwomp said, like this comment if you think Brunson should pee his pants and suck the urine out of the fabric. It has 4 likes. Would you like it? I wouldn't like it.
No, that sounds pretty gross.
Yeah. Let's see. Is there anything else? No, I think that's it.
Okay. 2 hours 15 minutes. I'm cool. Calling it.
Yeah, screw these guys.
Guys, comment down below what stuff you would like to see us talk about when it's not the basketball that's actively happening. Neither of us are very good at thinking up segment ideas, and I'm not above plagiarizing my peers or anything. We'll
No,
definitely
of
be
course
stealing
not.
shit from other people. But I'm open to hearing what you guys have to say too. So yeah, comment that shit down below.
Comment it, dude. Come on.
Yeah, come on, please. All right. David Robinson, take it away.
Up tempo means I'm gonna run you into the ground.